send for me with T.O.P. MSJ and JC and E. Political send for me. Send. Time to clench your fist. Stand up and insist. We can't continue like this. We'll end up in a crisis. In all of the world, let your voices be heard.
Occupy! Occupy! Occupy!
Well, we have to remain speaker. Emotion in like a tweeter.
Occupy! Occupy!
They say every creed and race.
Bound to find a whining space.
With ocean, without this space.
They winding up in the people's face. Occupy! 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 Occupy!
Left, right, the government boost, the government boost. Left, right, the government boost, the government boost. Left, right, the government boost, the government boost. Left, right, the government boost, the government boost.
Until our number reach 1,000, I play music. Share the video.
Is it necessary to have so much soldiers in this small country?
No, 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 it's a waste of money.
Is it necessary to shine soldier boots with taxpayers' money?
No,
No.
well, don't tell me. Tell Rowley.
He put them in St. Lucie, unemployment high, and the treasury low, and he buying books to have a soldier to. I see them boots and more boots.
In the savannah.
On the feet of young, trigger happy recruits. I see them
Mash down taxpayer.
boots and more boots.
Tear gas, Sharon.
Marching, threatening army troops.
And I want to tell you something, I am the biggest supporter of our law enforcement people. When you see what happened in that savannah, and I don't support the people who are the march, and to the couple, low slithering shit snakes, who have a problem with me saying that you can, I want to say, your lips and my ass should meet, call me and I'll set up the appointment. Because even though I don't support them, I could defend them. And that's what I'm doing. I don't think it was right. And I have reached out for the family. Now I am saying it, so I anticipate other political lawyers might do the same. But I am reaching out to the parents of the two little children who we see on that video who were gassed. They entitled to compensation. And I'm going to show you how human rights ain't gone away. Like Miss Brandt, who went and tell the world, tell you something, in this country, the biggest crime is revealing state secret. Let me tell you. And make sure no PNM on the live. No PNM on the live tonight. Only have some Palestinians neck to mash. Come off my video now, Israelis. Let the people hear some truth for a change now. Only have some Palestinians to go and kick up. Come off my video. Faris, NSA, come now, man. Only leave some room in the monitoring so members could come on too. Or you could listen, no problem. UNC taking up half the freaking bandwidth, taking notes. What you just say? Who? What name? Phillip, slow down now. We need to take notes. Rodney Charles and Fitzgerald Hines have a bet for $100 on Beetham suffering. If Beetham people realize that parliament takes them for a joke yet, because they're telling you that they care. Conrad Enel care. He have special deodorant for behind his knees, but he care about you who can't come outside because your whole community is a sewer. And the receding Pump City Ras want to tell you, have some more patience. Live in some more shit. You're in the Beetham, what you expected? What did you expect? You're in the Beetham. I sat down on the round table. I found out after I was on the wrong table. But I sat down on the round table with Faris and Jennifer Baptiste Primus and David Abdullah and Ansel Roger and all of the comrades and colleagues and friends and family on this big table. We start off in Normandy. We outgrow Normandy. We reach out all up in Ambassador Hotel opposite the American Embassy. And I will never forget, in one of these meetings on the round table, Rowley telling us how you know when your phone tap. He said, when I have to make a call, the first call don't get picked up. That is the call that they intercept. And then the second call just go through. That happened to me now, Kitos. You just wanted to get in office to do what the oppressors was doing you. You didn't want to stop the oppression. You wanted to be the oppressor. And tell we not partner. Tell we. I know they vex, eh? I know you and Harry back just call my name and plans. All. Everybody who jump out themselves with all you in 2015, mash up, twist up, hated. They don't want to come out in public. Stuart Roth would do anything. You taking a picture, you're cheering. He come in to join the get new cracks. If you call me, if you go out Halloween, all you have to do is put on the black hood he have on. What was his name? Come here, man. The Emperor. What he was? No, the Star Wars fans. Anyway. What numbers we at? 6:35. We're crawling. How much is really on the video tonight? We're crawling. We're trying to get water from our fire hose to fit through our garden hose because it pack up with UNC note takers, Kwame and his lawyers, Israeli spies, NSA monitors. Oh, Fred, how anybody else go get to see the video? How anybody else go get to see the video? I didn't know where we was trying to go. Where was? Palpatine. That was his name, Palpatine. Yeah, but what he was not the emperor. He was the duke or the senator or the... You know what? I'm tired saying this to people. And to the people who get in buff, I apologize. But when they tell you, contact Phillip for help, they don't mean call me. You call me on Sunday, and you're hearing a sound in the background, because I just answer my phone. You're hearing a sound in the background. It's either rain falling hard or there's a shower. And you're saying, you're busy? I say a little bit, how can I help you? Well, but I say a little bit. Don't force me to be rude. All you're forcing me to be rude. And I told a man today, I have told you 3 times that you are telling him, WhatsApp it to me so we can action it. Yeah, I go WhatsApp it, but I want to tell you. I said, no. You have to hear what I am saying. And he talking, you know. You have to WhatsApp it so that I could action it, because after this call, I'll get 40 more calls. And I'll forget what you tell me. I understand that, boss, but just hear this now. I want to say this still. I say, go force me to hang up on you because I said it 3 times already. Send it as a WhatsApp. Type it up. Take the time to type it up. I take the time to read everything. Everything. Send it as a WhatsApp, 685. We crawling. We like molasses going up a hill. Tonight I'm reading a nursery rhyme for Belle. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Since when a well is be on top of a hill? They had nobody there could have check on that. That just didn't make sense to me. Should be Jack and Jill went down the hill to fetch a pail of water. But I know a lot of people who wrote those nursery rhymes were on drugs. Anyway, when we touching Miss Brandt, I want to come back to Miss Brandt. Miss Brandt exposed a secret that PNM supporters catching them murderers. And you're not supposed to tell people. You're not supposed to tell people that PNM supporters catching them murderers. You're not supposed to tell people that people in Powder Magazine breaking in each other's apartment trying to get food to eat. You're not supposed to tell people that Morva, Beetham, Lavantil, Sealots, Covine, Rich Plain, Bagatelle, Factory Road, Saganga, Mason, La Puerta, Abbey Pujad, Big Yard, Scorpion, Hague Street. You're not supposed to tell people Carnage Point, Cumana, Belmont, Gonzales, Cocorite, Hardin Place, Waterhole. You're not supposed to tell people South Port of Spain, East Port of Spain. You're not supposed to tell people that those 500,000 people living in those communities catching them murderers. Ask Brian Lara. The first thing catch-ass people do when they make a money is get out. So they have nobody, unless you're running real racket, drugs, prostitution. They have nobody looking to build mansion inside any at-risk or hotspot. And singing Sandra say, hoping to win a lotto just to escape voices from the ghetto. That's what she's saying in the song. Looking to win a lotto just to escape. That is what NLC be selling, you know. All the other shit is advertised. Watch me. Want to escape, catch us, buy lotto. One out of y'all might get a chance. The rest will continue to catch their ass. And you will be paying them, but forget that for now. But that's the whole message. Because it is the PNM communities that catching the murder ass. It is the PNM communities. Walk! Walk now, man. You trying to tell me Burger or Penta couldn't sponsor some paint for their front wall so they could pretend? Walk in the community and see now, man. Poverty so raw, you could smell it. You could taste it in the air. Go Cocorite. Go Waterhole. Across from Bayside, multi-million-dollar towers. Across 8 lanes from Bayside Towers. Have poverty and violence so severe. They have 2 side streets that flank Bayside Towers. And in the last 2 years, bullets come out from inside them side streets and kill people passing. One of the people that got killed driving past. So this is a message to Bayshore and Westmoreland and Regents Park and Goodwood Park and Glencoe, who Rowley think is his communities. I went knocking door in Westmoreland, in Bayshore, in Glencoe, in La Hoquette. Here called one diehard at-risk PNM hotspot in that whole rant. I don't know who was there. I was there and I am. Remember that? All of y'all who's drive past there. Somebody, young child, doing driving lesson. Get killed. 6 lanes across from Cocorite. And next one, crossing the road. Western Main Road. Walking past Cocorite. They're shooting in the neck and drop right there and dead. Across the road from Bayside. And I tell Bayside Towers, only remember, I am psychic. I am savant. I tell the future. I have told the residents of Bayside Towers, anybody who apartment facing that side of the road, put in bulletproof glass. Because you're never going and tell. It only getting worse, you know. Police not going Cocorite, you know. And it's only getting worse, and it's right there. It's right there. But Rowley and the PNM talking heads want you to believe that that suffering not real. It's not real. Phillip lie. Them video you see when he driving and showing you how nasty thing is, that's Photoshop. They're good, you know. Them pep people talented. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know right there in St. James, they have a place called Aboud Circular Road. They want you to know that sounding like Debe, they have a place right there after Long Circular Mall, flanking the second largest army base in the country. They have a place called Debe. Talk about hotspot. Inside there, Jack Spaniards fly with bulletproof vests. Talk about hotspot. But you can't tell them that 600,000 people have their name down for food card. You can't tell them that. You can't tell them that if you live in Beetham or Laventille and you're applying for a job in Massey or Sabga, you have to have a friend who live in Woodbrook or St. James and put their address as yours. Because they're not hiring. Because they're afraid. And that is stories I get from people in them communities. Boss, you can't put Beetham. You can't put Laventille on the job application form. It's almost as if it don't register. But Miss Brandt, taking stick, and I reading the post and I reading the comments and I laughing. You know what I'm laughing at? I'm laughing at the people who on the tear gas, CNC3 and them trying to phrase it like it was a riot in the savannah. So the people who on the thread defending the tear gassing of people and talking about they breaking the law, 9 out of 10 of them, you don't see on TV calling police too wicked when they come to lock up the family and their friend. Oh, they're too wicked! But now all they're breaking the law. PNM voodoo, that black magic, it's strong, you know, to have people work so hard against themselves. PNM people just line up to cut their own throat voting PNM. The whole of OWTU march for 5 years and 6 months for the pleasure of firing themselves with a PNM pen. For the absolute pleasure. And you know what? They can't admit it. Because the day they admit it, Balize House will have to close up shop. The day it dawned, and it must come. It must come. Long, long rope for MAGA goat. This MAGA goat, this PNM MAGA goat, get a long run. But night is run till day catch it. You think PNM people in Beetham don't know it is PNM people in PNM doing them that with the shit water? You think they don't know? Them working in all them high-class community. Them working and them have family working. Them have aunt, mother, sister who is maid and ironer in Goodwood Park and Westmoreland and Bayshore and Valsane. They know. They know that they have people across the road on the edge of the pavement cutting the grass with a scissors, making sure it's one height. They know. Who you think in Ellerslie Park and Sinclair, in all them big house, cleaning yard, cleaning toilet, ironing clothes, mining children? Who you think it is? Who? Where you think they're coming from? Excuse me while I drink my tea. I've had a long day. I started this video late because I couldn't get a chance to drink my tea. It's Tuesday night. I'll be taking your call shortly on 682-2110. Don't call now. I'll tell you when. But poor people in this country know. They know. And they have, now that PEP has sent up a candidate, and we wasn't doing it, you know. We was just going and expose the government trying to hold a secret election. And you know the UNC so coward now. They're so broken now. They know that, you know. They know that the PNM tried to hold a secret election. and they was too coward to say anything. It's only when we prosecuted the state and forced Fern Narciscope to retreat and relent and show us the secret writ that they tried to run this election with, that we could say, well, we have seen it. The UNC has seen it. The UNC screen candidate and send them out without seeing a writ. They're running on a hearsay election, them don't care. We wasn't going to come in this election, you know, because we don't really believe in local government. We believe local government in Trinidad and Tobago is supposed to be abolished and replaced with something functional. Local government is just a way for P&M to eat our food. It's just a way for P&M to eat our food. It's a way to distribute money under law. The local government regional corporation system is a set of bagmen, a set of low-level contracts, THA. If this PDP really audit the THA under the P&M, everybody from Rowley go back have questions to answer. So it had to be plenty backroom deals, because I hear in Farley dealing with the length of people's skirt. You could come in a sleeveless in the public. Yeah, that's nice. I see that. What else they talk about? They checking up their own. They don't want no public servant vaccine. Nice. Them open the beach, good. But the thing I want, 20 years, 2.4 billion a year. How much is that? That's 44 billion Trinidad and Tobago dollars. 44,000 million. Unaccounted for. $44,000 million. You know what that could buy? St. Kitts and Nevis. We could add 2 islands to this. Trinidad and Tobago and St. Kitts and Nevis. And some all, no, don't tell us, that's my uncle. If I talk, I lose my food card. My auntie have a OJT. Sister have a HTC. The alphabet killing we. CPAP, URP, OJT, HTC, they're killing we. Everybody related to a letter or a bunch of letters in the alphabet. Phil, you have my support, eh? But my mother, my sister, my father, my brother. And everybody can lose their contract, lose their life, lose their friend. I'm tired of hearing it. Don't call me with them talks. I don't need to hear it. Don't purge your guilt on me. I know what victimization is like. I know what personal attack is like. I know what character assassination is like. I know what risk to stand up against this shit show, this bullshit factory, this jackass farm. I know what it is to have a voice so powerful, you personally responsible for stopping that bullshit vaccine program. I know that my voice gave PDP Tobago. I know I was a tipping point. I know how powerful my voice is, and I know my voice going to deliver Debe South to Lorenzo Sami, your new counselor, an orange point on a map of iniquity, an orange mark in a country so broken and divided, a shining orange glow that will light the nation afire with hope. I know my voice. I know who I am. I know what I do. I know the size of the sacrifice. But you don't call me and tell me, I'd come if. Mr. Phillip, I don't have no money right now. Court's bill paying though. TNTech bill paying. I don't have no money to pay to join Citizens Union, but I want Citizens Union to help me. No! Citizens Union belong to the members. And this is not one of those things where if you tell me a nice, sad enough story, we go skimmy-dimmy. We can't skimmy-dimmy. Today, a member who got essentially terminated from his job and had to get, by court consent order, paid off. The company paid him with about 20 checks. A small sum of money, like $30,000, they pay him with 20 checks. Then, they post-date each check. Then, they cross each check. Then, they misspell his name. And then they kept all the checks. So for a court order that was supposed to be, he's won, you've lost, write him a check, issue it, and everybody go their separate way. You write 20 checks, and you have him coming by you every month. Secretary here, but boss not here. Boss not here, but secretary here. Both of them here, but the key not here. The key here, but the secretary not here. No, all that bullshit he taking. Back and forth, taking the money, chirrup, until he get fed up, and he joined the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Ian Griffith managed that situation, got possession of all the checks, and we had total evidence. Felicia Holder, as chairman, went to them to appease the thing for Christmas, got him 3 of the checks cleared so he and his family could pay their rent and stuff. But now, it's slow and cheer up again, and the man wants to move on with his life. I sent a driver today to the gentleman with the checks. And I told the driver, one by one, put them in front of him and tell him, change your name, change your date, make sure this man can transact these checks, and go on with your life. If not, I will start by embarrassing your company to a way and a level you've never been embarrassed before. And it'll cost you 1,000 times this loss. Because this is an order that you entered into, and you know, whatever reason, I'm not saying that this side is the right side, because I have been in situations where I've seen firsthand that not every agreement that come out is the correct agreement, just the right agreement, but it is what it is. So hear what, this is small money for somebody like you, who's a member of the Citizens Union. Make it go away. He made it go away. The union that handled the matter for that man for a year couldn't make it go away. The Citizens Union did. So when you call the Citizens Union, if Ian Griffith tells you there is nothing we could do to help you, there is nothing we could do to help you. But I don't think that phrase has been uttered as yet. Somebody messaged me yesterday, they're facing $1 million judgment with a credit union, and they want to join Citizens Union for us to represent them. I said, we can't represent you on that. But you don't know the details. I said, no, that's not the point. You know you're facing $1 million judgment. So you're coming to us with the case already pre-baked and lost, and you're hoping that I could work magic. And we can't work magic for that small money. Most I could do is recommend a good lawyer. Tell me. Because we could have easily jumped in that fray, collect some dues, and stall them too. That's what everybody does do. We don't play that. We don't play that game. We can't help you, we're telling you up front, we can't help you, don't join. At least don't join for that reason. There are plenty other reasons to join. But don't call me and give me a sad story. I have sad stories. I give up time with friends and family and life and business. And all of us, not just me, I speaking for me. But I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing this with Esther Cruikshank, Esther Prince. I'm doing this with her daughter Precious. I'm doing this with Felicia Holder. I'm doing this with Sean Sunaran and Satish Ramsaran and Jennifer Mohammed. I'm doing this with Hadassah Charles McLeod. I'm doing this with Lima McLeod Wilkinson. I'm doing this with Satish Ramsaran. I'm doing this with a team of people that give of themselves repeatedly, continuously, and give to the cause and give to the fight for people who will never know their names. You all know mine. You all know mine. Because I hear talking big. This morning I walk and I show This morning I walk and I show a pavement in Woodbrook getting remade for the 50th time, and Beatham don't have a pavement at all. Somebody messaged me, not a pavement, it's a sidewalk. A rose by any other name would still be as red. It doesn't matter. In Trinidad, we just call it pavement. And I tell you again, all of those who don't understand words, purpose of words is communication. What we call arepas in Trinidad is really empanadas. They come from Venezuela, so the Venezuelans just tell you. What you call arepas is really empanadas. And arepa is an empty corn thing like a fry bake. So the first wave of Venezuelans tried to convince us to change the name. And now I know Venezuelan people who making empanadas, selling them as arepas. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to communicate. You're not trying to win the argument. So the pavement sidewalk talk missed me with that bullshit. But I show them that repeatedly, that contract switch, you know. A pavement and Woodbrook contract is a man with a jackhammer today, a man with a truck to pick up the debris tomorrow, some fellas with a hammer and some old wood. The boxing don't want to be correct. Boxing just ought to be straight. Some old wood, some BRC rest down, and a concrete truck just driving down the road, you don't have to mix concrete, them just done. It come in ready mix. Ready mix concrete is about 3 times the price of mixing concrete by hand. But them contracts so sweet. You buying ready mix from Junior Sammy. Them pavement could last the next 1,000 years. But we getting them pavement redone. Not because they like Woodbrook. Not because they like Port of Spain. But because the city corporation handing out contract. Slipper drain, pavement, them kind of contract is the best kind of contract. Box drain. UNC make millionaires of box drain contracts. People who never hold a hammer or a shovel in their life. They had men standing up with, I have contracts. Who want one? I get about 40. You want? Nothing, no change. But the color of the shirt. The Progressive Empowerment Party walked in Debe on Saturday. We just walked. We just showed up and walked. Monday, we had a candidate nominated for the by-election. You know what happened this morning in Debe South? You know what happened today outside Rudal Monilal office? You know what happened today? A pothole that has been causing traffic for the residents for a year and a half was fixed today. Tomorrow, I'm going to stand up on that pothole to tell you, when Pep touched down, the whole place had a shell down. You had to start fixing things because we will highlight it and we will show it. And people know 2 things about me. If I tell you I will fix it, it fix it. I will do whatever it takes to make that happen. My word is my bond. So when we come in Debe South now, and this is to the people who might be fortunate enough to be living Debe South and watching this live video. If you live in Debe South, no matter what they try to con you with, no matter what they try to bribe you with, and you see this party loyalty bullshit, party loyalty does only work one way. Only the party does benefit. Party loyalty don't benefit you. You all have been loyal to parties for 59 years in this country. And UNC is only 30 years. You've been loyal to parties and it has not benefited you. And we will show you, without government, put that man in office. Put Lorenzo Sammy as your counselor. I will show you the power of citizens in this country to get things done. Give us that key to the door. Give us that responsibility. Lorenzo Sammy come in with an army. And right now we don't have the whole country to run. We have just your area. I come in personally. So we will make sure. I'm not Duke. I'm not hiding. I here with him. I run in with him. I am going to be doing live videos with him every day for the next 20 days till you know Debe South by heart. Until you know every problem where the rats does run, where the water backing up, who ain't had no water, where the mosquitoes breeding. You will see it live on this video. That's what I do. And you will see it and you'll know that Debe South will be the most represented piece of territory in this country, bar none. We have a point to prove. The Orange Army want to prove a point. When we didn't succeed in the election in 2020, we formed the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago and have represented more people than many of those parliamentarians who draw in big fat salaries. We have represented, protected, saved people from private and public sector abuse. We have raised issue in the public space the opposition don't know how to raise. They don't know how to enunciate. They don't know how to put the words together. This one first, this one second, that one third. They don't know how to get to the point where you feel like somebody in that house seeking our interests. Give us a foot in the door. The next election, the whole country paint orange. Because people will see, the average people of Debe South celebrate that they have representation. And the PNM and the UNC could circle their wagons around our constituency. I promise you, they will be circling in jealousy. They'll be looking on to take notes. How y'all doing this? How y'all have the smoothest roads? How y'all have health, or like your own health center? How they doing this? you are entitled to certain things. And once the government is starving your community of what you are entitled to according to a geographical radius, if contrasted and compared to geographical radius with other PNM constituencies, you have a case in court. One time, you have a case in court. You could prove that the government's starving you because they're trying to block your right to the representation of your choosing. And yes, Faris. And yes, Hines. I know they're blocking the video when it's live. But I want you to come back and check something. This same video, by Friday, have 30,000 views. People will wait you out and watch it and get the information, write it down and act. I and the rest of the team that is building the Debe South representation, we will be in Debe every day. Media calling to interview with candidate. Janice tell them pump their brakes till next week. We getting all our ducks in a row. We're making sure everything ready. Friday, we on the ground. If you would like to be part of the team that is moving and painting Debe South orange, call Precious on 471-2888 or call Felicia Holder on 769-4590 or call Satish Ramsaran on 796-8172 and tell, we have another number. Our number is just now. This is our number. I forgot I have an assistant now. Our number is 719. Let me write that down. 719-2888. That's Indira. Indira is my assistant. When you call Indira, tell her you want to be a part of the PEP army rolling through Debe South. Friday, if you are now people messaging us, they saying we have a printry, we would like to print pamphlets. Everybody who willing to volunteer those services, please and thank you. We have no contract mafia support, no drug lords, no political investors. Everything we have come from our everyday members. So if you have a small printry and you'd like to help us print some flyers, if you want to help us print some jerseys, if you want to donate some jerseys, if you want to buy jerseys or buy flyers, listen, jump in, call me. For them thing, feel free to call me direct. If you have a car with them speakers on the top and you want to lend us a couple of days, call me direct, 682-2110. That is my number. Them is the calls I want to answer. Mr. Phillip, we would like to help. I have this, I have that. I have a music truck. I want to lend you the music truck for the next 20 days. We have lights, we have camera, we have action. We have banners, we have flags, what you need, what you want. We want to help. We want to be part of the change. We want to be part of the orange revolution sweeping across the land. We want to be the part of the change of hearts and minds that rescues Trinidad and Tobago from the contract mafia and from their talking heads that fooling poor people and have poor people in this country reciting the nonsense that it is better to eat grass than to thrive and succeed in life. And that is the thing that I hope I accomplish, besides getting back the country's money from the bandits and those who died from the heirs, because I've taken them to court posthumously. If you stole this money and we could prove it, the court could order that what you left as an inheritance belongs to Trinidad and Tobago. We want that too. We're coming for that too. We want our money. We want the country's money. Besides that, I want to be the person that proves to those hotspots that I recite offhand. I want to prove that somebody cares, that somebody knows that what was done to you all was wrong, that somebody knows that your anger and your bitterness and your political cynicism, you're entitled to it, that somebody knows that what was done to everybody living in those hotspot communities, that it was wrong. I want you to know, I want Beatham to know that we will make sure, give us 5 years. Not only will you get pavements and sidewalks and roads and proper sewers and drainage, but you will get a proper community. You will get support. You will get help. You will get representation. You'll get the same access the heifer in Bayshore have. Call somebody if you have a problem, and that organization responds. What the heifer gets, you're entitled to as well. Not empty promises. Tell me when she lied. Ten people in a one-bedroom shanty. No vacancy, no employment. Yesterday a man post, boy, watch me. They just know how to reach inside my chest, grab my heart and pull it, you know. The man write about his degrees, boy. He said, I take everything they tell me to heart. I do everything. I went to school. I didn't lime. I didn't fet. I didn't party. I make sure I get all my passes. And I went and I get all my degrees. And I'm sitting down here, job interview after job interview. And I'm watching people with less qualification than me, but more contact than me, getting better job than me. And I'm sitting down here, suffering, degrees in hand. And I don't know what else to do.
I'm grateful to look out the window, so your voice is low. I hear you. Sing the chorus. Yeah. Oh, oh. Crying. You're crying. Yeah.
682-2110 if you would like to call in. If you're calling, listen to me on your phone, not on the device you're listening to me on. There's a delay.
Mothers just hold their head and ball. And them woman stronger than a wall. A big pusher iron your daughter. Son in jail for manslaughter. Too bad for you, yelling rat boys, no bail. That's the black man's stripe. Like Shabba say, poverty is hell. Your little girl child belly start to swell. Some say life is a cycle.
But don't draw she in a circle.
Now it all ends, don't time to tell. Outside the siren keep howling. Inside your belly we're growling. Go this way very often. Since you mentioned a coffee one night. In bed you're sleeping.
Next night is a wake that you're keeping.
So you pray to win the lotto. Not to hear them voice. What they doing? I hear you. They're still crying. Yeah. Crying. Yeah, crying. 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 Yeah.
Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Good evening, you're live.
If a PEP candidate was to win that seat in Debe, in the UNC-led Penal Debe Corporation, all his motions will be shut down. It makes no sense voting PEP vote UNC who controls the corporation.
Yes, Jackass, but after he... Wait, no. Now, if you would like to call that person back and educate him how politics works, his number is 747-8594. So I'm going to call him back, 747-8594, because he think that was brave. Brave is what I'm going to do now. Let me see if he's brave enough to answer the phone. Mr. Man, phone, run outside. Can't take it. Phillip can't be so brave. My whole squad that gets paid phone cards to call in. Mr. 747, what's your number again? Mr. 747-8594. I thought you're brave. While I'm waiting on other calls, I will call you. Stand by your truth now. Tell Trinidadians why you believe that is true. Don't be coward. You was talking big before. Monkey really have to know which street to climb, eh? I ain't paying him, you know. And I not UNC. When all you come in, make sure you don't miss. 682-2110. Now you're going to see them calling with block numbers. I don't answer block numbers. But you're big and you're brave with your UNC phone card to call in to tell them. Because UNC, hear what he called to say, UNC will block any motion that a non-UNC member raises. That's what he called to say. You believe that? That the UNC, if they control the corporation, will block him. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Blessed good night to you and your family. Happy New Year to you, and may the good Lord bless you with health and strength to take Trinidad and Tobago back to where it used to be, to the promised land that we was promised by both UNC and PNM, and still waiting on this promised land. Little Dubai didn't have a promised land, and they have a promised land now, and you go tell me Trinidad and Tobago still don't have a promised land. We are fed up of politicians, both sides, UNC and PNM. Time Trinidad and Tobago get up from all the chairs and make a shift for Phillip Alexander, make a shift for the future for the children, make a shift for better tomorrow. This shift has to be stopped. A free hat and a jersey. Mr. Phillip Alexander is not about hat and jersey, he's a man of action, right? He is a man ready to put down his foot on the ground for the soul of this country, and are they not waking up Trinidad and Tobago and seeing a true leader? Many are called and few are chosen. In Trinidad, only one is chosen right now, is Mr. Phillip Alexander. Our children's future lies on the hands of this man. It will take time, but he will get it done. Rome wasn't built in a day. But if that good leadership for Trinidad and Tobago is what we need right now, and this is what he is offering to us, let us wake up. This is not about Indian and African and 1%. This is about Trinidad and Tobago and the future of the next generation with children. The people have to be on the ground, not in no office. When they come on the ground to the communities, they will see the problems, they will meet the people. If the community see a minister, they will feel happy. And this is what Mr. Phillip Alexander is offering to you. May God bless you. So continue doing a good job.
Thank you, my friend. Hello, good evening, you're live. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hello, good evening, good night. Mr. Alexander?
Yes, good night, you're live.
Okay, great. Calling you from Miami, Florida here. To the people of Trinidad and Tobago, this is your chance. This is your chance to change Trinidad and Tobago. Put PEP in office and watch it as he has said. The country will change. You need new. You cannot continue with UNC and PNM and expect the same, expect something different. We have done it for many, many, many decades. And to this day, what do we have to show for it? Trinbago, wake up. This is a man, Mr. Alexander. He is telling you the truth. The things, what is going on in the country, you need to take heed. You need to follow somebody who is willing to challenge the institutions. And this is a man doing it. So I'm asking you, Trinbago, for the first time, take a chance, go in a different direction. Mr. Alexander, you have my support. I am a PEP member. I am also a Citizens Union member, and I will be doing my best for you from this end, sir.
Thank you,
to
my
all
friend.
Trinbagonians, please take the chance. Baby, you have your opportunity. Take it.
Thank you, my friend.
Be that change that changes the entire country.
Thank you for that.
Good night and thank you.
Thank you for that. Now you see them two callers, but the second caller, he brave, he courageous, and he stand his ground, and he make his case. The first caller called to read a script. The first caller called to read a script. By now you can't remember the nonsense he read, because you know all you get in response? All you see that he get called back twice. He run from his own phone. He brave when he thought he was controlling the conversation. He called on my open line Read the script. I tell him, wait, don't go nowhere. Let me discuss it. If you want to come and if you want to call and support your party, no problem. I was on a radio show where the host started the show and said he wanted to be upfront with me that he's a PNM supporter. And for 2 hours, I tried to get him to answer one question. Why? Hello, good evening, you're live.
Good evening, Mr. Alexander. This is Darren here from the Angel Commission.
Hey, Darren, what's up, my brother?
I just want to tell the people in David, this is all a chance. And we are the safety park, this is the chance. Don't waste no time.
Darren, how things on your side, boy?
Just this you, right? Everything with you.
Well, I halfway celebrate a birthday yesterday. I say when I pass through and drop a little piece of cake or something, nothing, boy. Salt this year.
No, we have a faith. We have a faith, man, don't worry.
Thanks for reaching out, my brother. Thanks.
And I have support and say, I'm a real big support in South too.
Yeah. But I'm looking.
Right choice now, man.
I'm looking for you to link up with Esther and Felicia. So when you come off this, if you could call Felicia and tell her that you want to be included on the schedule for like the walkabouts and stuff, and however you could come and be a part of it, we would appreciate that greatly. You and your team. Yeah?
No problem, man. Thanks again.
Stay strong. I have an open phone line. Once your phone number not blocked, you could call. I wasn't hanging up on him, The guy, the first caller, I want to talk about this. Because if you believe what you believe, stand and defend it. Stand and defend it. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hi, good evening. Mr. Phillip Alexander.
Speaking.
Hello?
Yes, speaking, you're live.
Yes, good night. What I want to ask the country to do, what I want to ask those that have any say in this country, is to listen to what you are saying. Listen to the truth that you are trying to make known and expose the foolishness that's happening in this country. And rise up to the task. Rise up to the moment. I'm asking the police service. I'm asking the army. I am asking those that the government are using to bully the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to listen to what you have to say, Mr. Phillip Alexander, because you are a beacon of light in this country.
Thank you, my friend.
And I just want to ask those that are in authority, those that the government are using to bully the people, to listen to what you are saying and to rally behind us.
Thank you, my friend.
Rally behind us and let's change this regime that is happening in this country. Let's change our hands. The world can go to hell. Let us in Trinidad and Tobago make a difference.
Amen.
Let us make a difference.
Amen.
Mr. Phillip Alexander, I support you.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for that.
And
oh my gosh. Sorry about that. We were trying to take another call and we missed that call too. And I want to say a special good evening to Mr. Vernon DeLima, who I see that is on the live. Rose Fung is asking the caller from Florida to please reach out to her. So you could find her name, or you can message Felicia Holder 769-4590 and Felicia will put you on to Rose. To the caller we just missed. Sorry about that. Now, Mr. 747-8594, if you want to call back and talk to me, I open to receiving your call. Hello, good evening, you're live?
Hello, good night.
Yes, you're live, good night.
Yes, this is Phillip Alexander.
Speaking, you're live.
I'm live?
You are live with me. If you listen to me on your phone, you will hear that you are live with me.
Okay, all right. My name is Samson Cesano. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thanks for giving your name.
What?
It's not a prerequisite, but thank you for that.
Huh?
I said it wasn't a prerequisite to give your name, but thank you for that.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm calling. I look at your live. I've been looking at your live for a very long while, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to share some advice with you. I think you have a very strong chance of winning. And I want you to understand that the country needs change. It definitely needs change. And the people need the truth. But you have to understand that you have to refine the way you present the truth to the people. Because a lot of people is not receiving some of the truth they're saying in a positive way. Especially those of the religious sect. Now, I know it's the truth. A lot of other people know it's the truth, but there's a different sets of people that receiving the truth that it is be saying in a very negative light. You look at what you're saying as you being arrogant then. You know?
Yeah.
I know you're passionate. The other people that do you know you're passionate. But I'm just saying, refine the way you present the truth over a little bit and go forward.
Thank you.
Because remember, it's not one set of people that want to reach. You want to reach everybody in the country, at least majority.
I appreciate your advice.
So,
I appreciate your advice. I appreciate it greatly. We have to take it under advisement. If I was to say to you that the reason...
I'm hearing something very soft.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Are you hearing me better now?
Talk up a little bit in the phone.
No, well, it's because we're getting so many calls. Are you hearing me better now?
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to... In fact, if you could send me a WhatsApp, I will be able to explain you at length, and you and I could talk some more. I am open to any guidance. The problem is when you change the bait on your hook, you change the type of fish that you get. And we have a massive following of everyday people now. And last night I got a message from somebody who owns 45 churches. I didn't know you could own so many churches. And he messaged to tell me that I have his full support. My priest from the Catholic Church is on my WhatsApp with me. I have former teachers from St. Mary's College, a mother of children that I grew up with since kindergarten, Maureen Stone. She is with me right through. Ann Punwa, who know me since I adult. And I'm using these and I'm calling these names to say to you that I'm guided by what you're saying, and I understand I understand what you're saying. But I want any one of those people who don't like how I talk to call me, and I want to explain to them that I am a fireman trying to out a fire. I'm a lifeguard trying to rescue a drowning victim. I don't have time for niceties, and I know that I could be very parliamentary, and I know I could be very sweet if I wanted to. But right now, I want to wake people up. And the media that hides me from the public, the people find me because of the way I speak. So there's a reason for it. But I really appreciate your taking the time to enunciate your thoughts.
Yeah, because, you know, I would really like to have the discussion, because I think we could go into more details.
Message me, shoot me a message.
I have been, the community activism and these different things, I've been doing it. I'm actually involved in different church activities and things.
I want you on board. I want you on board. I want you on board. Message me, please. Come up when you come off this call. Send me a WhatsApp.
Same number, right?
Same number.
Same
Same number. Send me a WhatsApp with your name and your number. Well, I'll get your number and I will call you. I will message you and you and I will talk. I want a mutual.
You want it now on the live?
Well, I have your number. I want to have the number on the line, and you actually did give your name, but still send me the WhatsApp, and I'll tell you why. You know I have plenty more.
On this same number, yeah.
On this same number. Yeah. Huh? Yes, on this same number, 682-2110.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, my friend.
Continue doing what you're doing in your chat. Okay.
Thanks for reaching out. Sorry for all the calls that we missed. I didn't want to interrupt him because he was entitled to his say. So I'm going to try and return some of the calls.
Hello?
Good evening. I missed a call from you.
Hello?
This is Phillip Alexander, and I missed a call from you. You hearing me? Hello?
Hello, good night.
Hi, you hearing me? Are you hearing me at all? That's according to Rowley, the first call is the one that does get blocked. See? All this seat for yourself. I call him out the same person now. Let me see if I get through. Bet you hear me this time.
Hello, good night.
Hi, you hearing me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes, good night, Mr. Alexander.
Yes, good night.
This is Ravi Featuren from Princeton calling. How are you?
I am fine. Thanks for calling, Ravi. Thanks for giving your name.
All right. I am calling to say that it's time for a serious change in this country. We have a lot of young people in this country, a lot of young entrepreneurs, a lot of young people who have nowhere to go because of the politics of the PNM. And
Because of the way the country is run like a parlor, worse than a parlor. That parlors run better than this country. Anyway, sorry for interrupting you, but I agree with you.
Well, we've seen that, right? And I'm going to say this plainly. The time for parties and politics and voting to get your road fixed and your pavement in front of your house, these things need to come to an end now in this country. We need to vote for growth and development of our economy. We have young people coming out here with degrees, and they can't even find a decent job.
Absolutely.
We have young people with business startups that can't find funding for their business. Why? Because we have certain people who don't want it to happen. So we continue to live in a state where nothing works because there are people who don't want it to work. Because it benefits them.
Well said.
And I have already spoken to Esther about getting a PEP movement in Princeton. As soon as the DV elections is over, I'm going to be back in contact with her. I've got people on the ground ready to go, and we are ready to take the Princeton constituency out of the hands of the UNP and into a better progressive movement that will seek to develop not only a part of Trinidad, but every part of Trinidad. Every part of Trinidad can be an economic provider to this country's growth and development.
Indeed. Indeed, you made me smile earlier when you said you're already in touch with Esther, because I understand now how involved you are. Ravi, I want to thank you for making the call. I want to thank you for saying it so well, and I want to thank you for being part of the team now and when we establish the team with you in the future. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome, Mr. Alexander. I look forward to working with you in the future.
Take care, my friend. Man, make me smile, we. People talking about thing. This song, 1981. Mighty Sparrow. 41 years old. I ain't wasting none of it. I'm taking this call. I'm gonna play that song for you when all the calls done. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hi, good night, Phillip. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am. You hearing me?
Yes.
Welcome. You need to speak. You need to speak up.
I am from Port South, and you're doing a great job. And I hope that you continue to do what you do and to be the voice to the voiceless. Because you know, government come and government go, and they do nothing of it.
Your call, your audio, your audio coming and going.
Oh yeah. Are you hearing me now?
And you're clear now.
Okay. So I'm saying, you know, government come and government go, and they do nothing for these areas for the Queen South. Garden Daily, you know, there's Street, Downton Street, you know, and a lot of our young people need better representation.
We're wasting their lives. We're wasting their lives. We're wasting it. And they're ending up at an age where they don't know what to do, and then they end up in all kind of wrongdoing or all kind of stupidness. And you blink twice, and you're 30, and you're 40, and you're 50, and your whole life gone, and you got nothing to do with it. It's unfair. Thank you, and I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I agree with you. We're wasting these young people's lives.
Young people need that representation, and you have that. That's why I message you everything. I would like to represent my area for the Queen South.
Have you been in touch with Esther? Esther Prince and Satish Ramsaran are organizing the party around the constituencies. You have Satish number?
Yes, I have his number, yes.
When you come off this phone, no matter what time it is, call Satish and make sure that he knows that you want to be the representative for your community. So screen you one time. You're going to start preparing. At some point, an election must call and we got to be ready.
Yes, yes. Because our young people, I mean,
and we want to work with you in the constituency. All of our, we want to work with you in your constituency. We want to help build you with your voters.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so let's take care.
All right. Bye. Sparrow, tell them that, man, 41 years ago. 41 years ago. If I was a selfish man, I wouldn't be involved in no election. I done all already. I ain't want fame. Plus, I ain't looking for fortune again. All I asking is you pay close attention to the many problems we face from dawn to dawn. Cussing me from where I'm born. You pipe a hand of water. You're paying too much for butter 41 years ago. 8 governments ago. 8 governments ago.
The terrible school system is such a bloody problem.
41 years ago, the terrible school system that 8 to 10,000 of the 20,000 children a year fail out or fail. 41 years ago. Agriculture in a state, planning inadequate. 41 years ago. 8 governments ago. The northern southern idols, the 2 kingpins of bubble. The 2 kingpin of bubble, PNM and UNC, have us where we are today. He's singing a 41-year-old song. 41. I want Beatam call me. I want Labantel. I want Rhoda Barrett call me and tell me why people in those poor communities should still be supporting PNM if 41 years ago the pipe had no water and it had no water still.
Anything that's wrong, you go put it right.
Rowley tell we the other night.
So instead of displaying impatience,
Wait till now you got choke. Heinz just tell the people in Beatam instead of displaying impatience. What's 4 months of shit smell in your house?
pull yourself and give the fella a chance.
Give them a chance, na man, Philco.
How the hell you could say, oh, and I'm going to bed.
How you could say PEP could make a change? The first caller asked you that 41 years ago they're talking the same bullshit.
But we send you back Grenada in a drum.
But he drop his phone and run from his own phone when I call him back.
We and Georgie going to put it right together. We have freeness and freedom.
Plenty roti, plenty rum.
Hospitals have no linen. This brown paper they're using.
Hospital have no linen. It's brown paper they use it. They had COVID 41 years ago. We had a parallel health system 41 years ago. We was under pressure 41 years ago. We had mascara girl talking about 96% full up in the ICU. The sky fall and the world collapsing. We had that 41 years ago. How come Sparrow was savant? Did he have a crystal ball? How come he knew? Because we live in this 41 years, we live in this 59 years. But 41 years ago, he write this song. 41 years ago, we had a chance to make a change from everything. ONR was the third party then. We had a chance to make a difference, make a change. ONR had to merge with ULF and merge with Tapia and merge with DAC to form the NAR. And it is that NAR that the 1%...
Public transportation is an abomination.
public transportation is an abomination. A man just posted on my Facebook. He said, boss, I'm trying to use the bus every day. The bus coming at a different time. I coming outside the same time every day. Some days I miss the bus, some days the bus miss me. Come on, public transportation is an abomination. 41 years now, 8 governmental terms ago, and it's still so. They're using PTSD to thief money. If you have one brand of bus now, you have to scrap it and bring a different brand of bus so the parts can't fit the new bus. So you're entering a 20-year contract with the bus supplier to get 20 years worth of parts, because the 20-year worth of parts that you need, you have to dump now. Food, clothes, and rent is proof. Cost of living gone through the roof. What going on right now with flour and chicken and cement and rent and traveling and doubles and everything? What going on right now? What changed 41 years ago to now? Mr. First Caller, could you tell me what you think changed 41 years, 8 governments ago? Classified information for personal gain is common. We like it so. Somebody tracked down that first caller and he must be still running. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hi, good evening, you're live.
Yeah, you hear me right?
Yeah, let me pause this song and give you your full call. Good evening, you are live and I am hearing you.
Okay, I want to say that I'm very supportive of what you're doing. Keep strong, keep the fire going. We have taken this for too long. PNF and UNC, you have lost generations with only tribal politics. You have those who mindset.
Boss, you know what you just say? You know what you just say, boss? Boss, you know what you just say? You ought to say that again, and you ought to say that slow. People not understanding what you mean when you say we've lost generations of people to political shenanigans and corruption. They don't understand that they have generations of people who have never been able to maximize their potential. We have had Brian Laras who couldn't afford a bat, and Dwight Yorks who couldn't afford a ball. We had children who could have been musical maestros who couldn't touch a pan or a piano. Sorry for interrupting you, but the way you said that, boy, we've lost generations. People have died from guns. People who pull the trigger and end up in jail out of the madness of this country. Boy, I writing that down, yes? I taking that line from you.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yes, and it's time. It's time. The time is now to make this change. We can't continue on like this. We've done it for years, and to say that we don't want change is to be seriously deluded, be seed confused, to continue in the manners that we continuing right now with the PNM and UNC politics. Something has to happen. Something drastic has to happen in this country. And sir, I'm supporting you. You have my full support.
My friend, I want to ask you, please send me a WhatsApp to this number when this call is over, so I'll put you in touch with the team, because we need people with your critical thinking on board.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for the call. Man, say we've lost generations. You know, next time I heard generations grew up in this country in the backseat of a car. When Manning thief money with all them European companies, when Manning and them sit down in Hilton and thief money, when Manning and the boys sit down and thief money to build all them buildings in town, when Manning and them thief money, we had a little boom, and they thief the money and build all them buildings in town. You know, Manning and them knew, because they have a report, and I know because I read the report that Manning have, that the problem with the traffic in Trinidad and Tobago is 250,000 workers come into Port of Spain every single day and cause a traffic jam that take 2 and 3 hours for people to come in. They have people coming in to work in town, waking up the children 3 o'clock in the freaking morning to dress them for school, and on that highway breathing carbon monoxide morning and evening, and grow up in the back seat of a car. That is the insanity of Trinidad and Tobago. And that jackass, Mr. 7478594, who want to call in and defend the status quo, still running from the phone right now. 7478594, sure you catch your breath. I know you're hearing me. If your name, man, call back, defend your position. I answer in the phone. Kims, I want you to send me a WhatsApp, please. I need your number. Javedi Mandy, I want you to send me a WhatsApp. I need your number too. Andy Trim, Nathaniel Boss. You're back in a jackass in a horse race. That is what Mr. Jackass called to say. Mr. Jackass 7478594 called to say we have a chance because even if we win, UNC go shut down every move. But let me tell you, the first move they shut down of our movement, brother, we will bring the whole Pep Army, the whole Pep family, the whole Orange crew to stand up and ask why. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, my friend. Thanks for that.
And happy fifth birthday for the PEP.
Hey, for real. Oh, good. That's true, boy.
Yeah.
What is going on? I forget that. Felicia Holder, please reach out to me. I am very sorry. 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. Fifth birthday in Truth Way.
Oh.
Wow. With everything else that's going on, we
Back in 2000, I used to leave Sugar with a bicycle to go to work in Sawa and still reach work before I could reach Sawa.
Wow.
45 minutes pedaling. And a car used to take an hour to reach Sawa back in 2000. Like kind of traffic I took in. Anyhow, give me out. Your turn. Quick and proud.
Brother, make sure you're on board. Reach out to Felicia. Reach out to Satish 7968172.
No, yeah, I pass $1 then. The tip was something blue Monday, boy. You still don't have nothing, blue, orange. You still don't have nothing orange.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I don't have nothing orange
Thank
on
you.
Monday.
Thank you for that.
So I couldn't buy an orange t-shirt, so I still buy blue. Good night, I'm going to
Thank you, my brother. To all the PEP members, I apologize. Happy 5th anniversary. The party is 5 years old already. Yeah. One day after my birthday is PEP anniversary. Satish Ramsaran, Felicia Holder, Sean Sinarain, Anne-Marie Dulal, Ian Griffith. We have to have a celebration for the 5th anniversary, I guess, after this election. Mr. Adrian Jones, good evening, sir.
Hey, good night, boy. Uncle Phil, boy.
How are you?
Good night, good night.
To the listeners,
to the Opinion Box followers watching tonight.
This is Opinion Box.
Good night, too. So happy belated, blessed, Earth strong, brother.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother.
I know you didn't get to do anything for your birthday, but at the same time, your health and strength and your life.
Amen.
As long as your life, there is hope.
Amen.
Right? And happy 5 years for the PEP, you know. It's amazing how you're running something and you know how much years passed there.
Brother, watch now. It's just a blur to me now, you know. Look now, every day we just, you know.
That because you're so busy trying to fix the country and I know you're working. You're running up and down doing other people's job that you even know what's going on with your own thing.
And feeling bad.
But that is not good. That is performance. Actions speak louder than words.
For real. Thank you for that, my brother. How things on your side? You're singing strong, boy. Like you're fully recovered.
Yeah, I kind of figured out a little way to cheat this system, so I've been using it. I'm using the spirometer before I do the lives and things.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the painkiller like an hour before, so by the time I'm ready for the live, I have my lungs get a nice bit of exercise and my back kicking too. But you know, it's just today my live, I was a bit passionate about, you know, what people was talking about with the poverty and with what Miss Will said, and you know, I had to come to educate people on something, and I mentioned your name, and I want to say it on your show now for people to understand and for you to tell them, because a lot of people saying she exaggerates and they don't have that kind of poverty in this country, and I told them, ask Phillip about Jericho project. I say it's a difference when people come to your door and to a venue to pick up hampers. But when you deliver hampers to people though, you just get to see the true poverty. And it's just that we don't put it up on Facebook and things because we don't want to highlight the situation of how bad it is. But Phillip, in the years of the Jericho project, where I know people would have come to you to get hampers and you probably delivered hampers, Phillip, you have seen true poverty. We have met people like that because I did the food and hamper drive, Phillip, and I met people in that condition.
Adrian, I bumps up my partner, Pernell Phillips. You might know his name. He's be on Facebook. He's be commenting. Pernell Phillips. Pernell and I, in the Jericho project, decades now. And Tara Dial, who she is like all of our mother. And Tara does find all the poverty in the country. Tara found this home in Trinity that is a home for orphan girls. And they asked us if we could come and do some repairs to their kitchen because their kitchen was in a bad way. So Tara took us there, and Pernell and I gone in this house where these young ladies live in with their house mother and brother. If you see, and I see Pernell this weekend grab and go, and we just talk all nonsense and things, as you know, that's how the boys just move. But as you're talking that, Pernell and I, cupboard by cupboard, trying to salvage this thing, eventually had to demolish the whole kitchen, and about 1 million cockroach run out. And these people was living in that. And this is an orphan, this is a home for orphan girls. And they have nobody for them to turn to, and they had nobody. And we had to break out all that, sanitize. What was supposed to be a couple hours work take us a whole weekend. And when we done and we finished and we put in a brand new kitchen for them. I mean, and I'm just saying this because you're mentioning it, that over the years there have been so many stories we've built. We had to go to our family.
And this is what I told
Valencia.
people tonight.
Valencia, listen, I take you.
Living in the pavilion.
Come on, man, I take you,
Valencia.
Valencia.
That story was real until I helped somebody who was helping her. You know, the person was poor herself and used to assist the person. And she asked me I could get a hamper for the girl in the pavilion, and I was like, "That's a real thing?" And she was like, "Yes." Phillip, when I went and do this food and hamper drive, I can't tell you how much time I walk away from my car with tears in my eyes because I couldn't believe in 2020, because it's 2020 I did it. I couldn't believe that there were people living in this condition in my country.
I want Trinidad and Tobago here when you talk. I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago something. Or you take me up on this. Let me meet by Valencia roundabout. I will take you all inside squatter communities in Valencia and show you a kind of poverty that will make the biggest, strongest, hardest back man cry tears to watch how people trying to raise children.
Valencia, I tell them it had a place in Toko. I went, Phillip. The people had to put down coconut hawks from a car to come in. Phillip, they have no internet. They have no current. The house made out of galvanized. It's flush around the house. And they live who's sleeping on door and all kind of thing in the place. Phillip, Trinidadian people don't know, you know. And the thing I told them,
you can't say that.
Like that.
Adrian, you can't say that. Adrian, you can't say that. People could just drive down Nelson Street. Just drive down Nelson Street. You want to see people living in suffering.
Same thing I said tonight.
Drive down Nelson Street. Right there in Port of Spain. Right there in Port of Spain. But you see, when you say Chili's no.
The reality was just a little too real for us.
Damn right. I wanted to stand by that statement.
I believe that statement, and I'm going to leave on this one. I told them, we have lived under hard times and hardships with government past and present so much that we naturally believe now that this is what we deserve.
Indeed.
That is what it is, you know.
Well said.
We believe that how we live is the best we can live. We can't live better than this.
Institutionalized in this nonsense now. You're right. And we outside here, they ever saying birds born in a cage think flying is an illness, you know. You and me telling people that things could be better. There are people outside there thinking we mad, you know. You have to be mad to tell me that you could catch flood water.
Tonight I shared an experience with them. I said when I was living in Sealots, people can't understand why I'm not afraid of cockroaches at all. is because for a portion of my life, me and my niece slept on the ground and back roaches off of us in Silots. Roaches was a normal thing to us, Philip. And it have people there still living there in that condition. I told them that the biggest latrine in Trinidad and Tobago is a place called the Iron Shed in Silots. That is where people go to defecate. And I'm pretty sure that that building is still there. It was an old fish market on the lower half of Silots. And people were talking, oh, that it could never be so bad. You think it's not that bad because you've never seen it. That is what it is, you know.
I know what hard, boy, Adrian, I'll tell you this one. They have plenty people who deal with that by saying the people who live in those conditions deserve those conditions. That's how they come. That's how they deal with it. By assuming in their mind and accepting the bullshit narrative that somehow these people are sinners, they are wrongdoers, they are hell spawn.
Oh, boy, Philip, I see me and you just think I told people that today. I say, you know what they said? How all of us watch it? I say, it all it has somebody stupid in the comment about, they vote for that. Or them like it so. But they don't understand. I told them, this was my example. I said, if you lock somebody in a cage all their life and you feed them potato skin, when you come out and you hand them a plate of proper food and they eat it, they go get sick. They might even want to take it from you because all they know all their life is to be in a cage with potato skin. And I said that is what happened in these communities. These people have been bred to believe this is the best you all could be.
Adrian,
and all they want somebody to show them better,
Adrian,
you know.
Adrian,
that is all they want.
After we finish,
change does only start. Change does start with one, you know.
Adrian,
before it infect everybody,
after we finish DB South, me and you walking in Silots. We go in Silots. You're taking me to those places in Silots. You and I are going to do videos together. We're going to put this in Trinidadians' living rooms. They have to watch this. They have to confront this. Yeah. We need, as a people, to take responsibility for this. This government couldn't be doing all this wrong without the power of our vote. I want to thank you again, as usual, for being on the show. I'm telling you, 20 days from now, you and me in Silots. What I'm going to do in DB South for DB South, you and me going and do for Silots. I promise you that.
Okay then. Well, so you enjoy your night, and for your followers, everybody always stay safe and enjoy the night. And change starts with you. Always remember that. Change starts with you. Don't wait for nobody to bring change. Change starts with you. Be the change. Enjoy the night.
Amen. Birds born in a cage thinks flying is an illness. The things that you learn and you pick up along the way, that turn out to have so much meaning. Hello, good evening, you're live. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening, you're live.
Phillip?
Yep.
I'm barely hearing you, but...
You hear me at all? You hear me better now?
Yes, I'm hearing you, yes. Calling from Mount Lambert.
Good night.
Good night. What that guy before was saying, Adrian, about Silots is definitely correct. I used to have some guys from Silots there working with me down in the Western nightclub. And when I used to ask them where they used to go and bathe and use the toilet, it was that same shed that Adrian is talking about. So what he's saying is actually correct.
I'm going down and see it for myself. I'm going to see it for myself.
I would love to be there with you when you go, because I am sure there are still a lot of guys who living there who I know.
Let's give them a voice. Let's give them a voice. Let's put that in Trinidad living room. Trinidadians need to come to the reality. What Miss Brandt said, as unpalatable as that truth is, what is this woman said? She said, the woman who formed Cosmo magazine, she said the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off.
Yeah, definitely.
My brother, I'm gonna try and see. I don't know if you have a link up with Adrian. If you send me a message, I'll link you up with Adrian so that he will put together the team for when we're going down, so you make sure you're in the loop, okay?
I will be there.
Okay, cool.
I remember you from CIC.
My brother.
You were a couple of years younger than me. But
we will stick a pin. We will stick a pin in this in Mary's ears now, right?
They wouldn't like to hear about that.
All right, my
but
brother.
Great talking to you. Thanks a lot
Take
for
care.
taking my call.
Take care, my brother. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
They have another saying that Dave Lux and I will share from time to time. Normal for the spider is chaos for the fly. Normal for the spider is the web. That web is chaos for the fly. And I know that saying, but I know a Trinidad version of that saying too. Joke for schoolboy is death for crapo. We out here a long time, you know. Joke for schoolboy is death for crapo. Normal for a spider is chaos for a fly. I hope all of y'all Kims and y'all, all you chatting away. I send a message earlier, WhatsApp me, I need your numbers. Esther wants your numbers. And Felicia. Yeah, I think we could call that. I want to finish Mr. Sparrow because when people say they like it so, this is the song that it come from. The name of this song is We Like It So. It's political suicide. Adrian now say it. Adrian now say it. We have no house, so we squat living with cockroach and rat. 41 years ago, 8 governments ago. Take your pep and go. The cesspit flowing over, you could catch yellow fever. Louis Lee saying, form a political party to fight the PNM in Port of Spain in 2015. And he fought them on the fact that the whole of Port of Spain is still latrine and cesspit. 41 years ago, cesspit flowing over. Right now, every time tongue flood, people cesspit flood in. Soldier in a bulldozer, break down my shack in Mova.
It's plenty sexual favors to be a 10 days worker.
Plenty sexual favors to be a 10 days worker. You know what is the sweetest work for the village ram? To be the man in charge of the 10 days. To be the man in charge of the 10 days. That is the sweetest work. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Alexander. Ravi calling back from Princeton again.
Yes, Ravi.
Right. I want to bring up two things as we're talking about the poverty in Trinidad, but I also want to bring up all these white elephants that we have in the country. And there's 2 white elephants I want to bring up. One, that gas transfer facility in Caroni opposite the cremation site. That can't even transfer an ounce of fluid, but millions, billions of dollars spent there, sitting on idle. We need an answer for that. What is happening there? Why is that facility non-functional?
Ravi,
an investigation needs to be conducted. Somebody needs to be jail, sir.
Ravi, you have to WhatsApp me that too after this, and you and I will make a plan to meet there sometime this week and do a live video right there. What's the next issue?
Right. I'm going to put down now, there is a facility that was constructed under the People's Partnership Administration on the northern side of the highway in Chase Village. It's supposed to be a facility for disabled children. And I'm very passionate about disabled people. You know why? I lost my right leg in an accident in 2015. And I can tell you, there is no facility in Trinidad for disabled people born
Ravi,
or happened by accident
Ravi,
to recover and to get a better
Ravi,
perspective.
you on the live now? You on the live video? You watching the live video now?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Oh, you watch my arm. You see this? You see all of this?
Yes, I hear you.
But you're watching the screen? You seeing all of this?
Yes, I am watching the screen. Yes,
I almost lost my arm.
No, I'm not watching the screen. I can't watch the screen and talk to you.
But I was showing the scars on my arm. And I almost lost my arm in 2008. And the surgeries and the I had to go to a place called Renew for therapy. And those things cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the average person in Trinidad have no access to nothing like that. And what people don't know is
No, we don't.
scar
No, we
tissue,
don't.
scar
It is a
tissue
center
builds
in
up.
Port of Spain, run by a company from Texas called the Beauty Center. And I think it's located behind St. Mary's College, right?
Or Fatima
It is
College,
that center
behind
that
Fatima.
put me back on my feet.
Behind Fatima College, by Mokorapo there.
Yeah, behind Fatima College, yes, behind Fatima College. It is those people who put me back on my feet, those people who taught me to walk again, and it is the people in those society, God bless those people, who never allowed me to give up, and who push and push and push. And we have no other facilities in Trinidad that allows, but yet still,
You know, if we
there's a facility constructed in Chase Village, meant for disabled people, meant for autistic
You're
children.
taking me- you're
and
taking me
this
there
present
too.
government refuses to open the
Ravi, you're
facility
taking
or
me.
even staff the facility.
You're taking me there too, Ravi. You're taking me there, and we go in. You and I go in, and you're gonna tell your story.
The amount of white elephants they have in this country, primary schools unfinished, the university in Dede unfinished,
But I want to.
billions of dollars spent and totally wasted. And then we have a government saying that they can't find money to staff the
But
hospitals,
Ravi,
can't find money
we have
to
hundreds.
give
We
nurses
have hundreds of
something
millions.
extra.
We have hundreds of millions of dollars in unfinished houses in this country where the contractors have been paid in full. The contractors have been paid in full, and now the houses left to rot. Hundreds of millions.
Exactly.
Ravi, if I just drive around this country with my camera.
And this is what we have to put up with in Trinidad. No, it's time for this to stop now. It's time for this to
Brother,
stop.
you touched me though. I didn't know your story. I did not know your
Millions of
story.
dollars wetting in the rain. And we have people living on the street.
Ravi, I didn't know your story. I didn't know where you was coming from. Now I understand. And
Right?
Ravi,
I didn't want to share myself because I don't want to put myself in the spotlight.
nah, you
But
have
every
to.
time I drive
Ravi, you
past
have
that
to. No, you
facility
have to put
in
yourself.
Chase Village, it is hurt.
You have to. You
It
have
is
to.
hurt to
You
know
have
that
to.
I had assistance, and I meet young people like myself who have lost their ability to earn an income because they cannot walk, they cannot use their facilities. And we have a facility there in Chase Village, newly built, barely 6 years old, that is not even functional. We're paying contractors to cut grass and security to secure empty buildings. Trinidad needs to see these things.
Ravi, this weekend, me and you. Yeah? This weekend.
Okay.
You and me, okay?
Take care.
Okay. Wow. And I want to tell you something because you see, just if you spend your time on that, just injuries. You know how much people end up handicapped in wheelchairs because they couldn't access the right amount of therapy, scar tissue, or calcification of joints. I had to learn all of that. When my arm was locked like this for about 3 or 4 months. And when they finally told me that I could use my arm, this was my range of motion. The joint was fully calcified. This was my full range of motion. There was a young lady by the name of Anna Salvatore, and it is Anna Salvatore working at Renew, and I would go there twice a week, and she would break through the calcification in my arm so that I could be able to get this range of motion that I have now. And that, I tell you, that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to save your arm. And there are plenty of people in this country that are handicapped, and you see them walking down the road missing a limb, and you don't know what is their story. Is why we fought so hard to get handicap parking in this country. They still have no law for handicap parking. It is the Jericho project that convinced corporate Trinidad and Tobago to put down blue parking spots for handicap parking in Trinidad, and now new businesses and new malls building does just paint handicap parking because it's the right thing to do. Not that it is a law. The government has never seen it fit to make a handicap law to take care of the differently abled in the society. I have told people that a progressive empowerment party government will set aside certain jobs that require you to sit down all day for people who are confined to wheelchairs. That we will set those jobs aside and give them first preference because there's nothing else disabled about them, but they're just limited in their mobility, and we're not even taking that into account. somebody who called me to tell me about the pavements while I was doing my video, he was correct that all the pavements have to be redone because the pavements don't take into account people in a wheelchair. And there are a lot of people like that. We don't take into account the blind, walking down the road with their cane, tapping to guide themselves. But they have so many obstacles for them to fall into and get damaged. People in this country, we live in a shithole. And you know, they have people, you're running your church and you're running your temple and you're running your mosque and you're talking about my words. My words is the least of your problems. If my words, as arrogant and as disgusting as they could be, could save people walking down a road, falling down into an open manhole. Up in Diego Martin, they make a joke. They say people thieving the iron covers to make tower. You know, that is the bullshit you had here. They thieving it to make tower. They say they thieving it to make gyro stove. You know, they thieving it to make tower. No problem. And they give out a contract to make these big concrete slabs that taller, 6 inches taller than the pavement. So now you're walking down the pavement and this is a tripping hazard. And they don't care. These people don't care. Kid Rowley don't care. And I want to tell you, it is why people like me, shouldn't be God. Because if I was God, these people who are responsible for these things, they would encounter it. They would suffer it. They would experience it. It seems when you watch stories and you watch long time fables where ghosts of Christmas past, ghosts of Christmas present, and ghosts of Christmas future had to come and show you who you are to people. A lot of us walking around in this world, blissfully unaware of what other people think of us. I know how I come across. I know. And it's hard on me. It's hard on me. But I'm fighting through a forced silence. I am fighting through them using spy technologies to block my videos. I'm fighting through Sabga News Network, and TV6 will never let me on their show again because they want to block the truth that comes out my mouth. But like Jesus said when he was walking on the way to Galilee, he said, if you silence me, even the stones on the ground will speak out. And you're seeing that now. When I go on all these other activist walls and I see my words coming out their mouths, I know that the mission is almost complete. www.21policies.com. Everybody should go and learn those policies. So when politicians come to your gate, ask them, when you were in government, did you not think this could have been done? Why didn't you do it? You spent billions. You PNM, you UNC. Why you couldn't do simple things to make people's lives better? Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Alexander. I'm calling from Cascade.
Good evening.
I just want to tell you I always enjoy your live. I listen religiously. If I miss it any night, I listen to it in the morning with my husband. And it's my husband who said you have to listen to Phillip. And this has been a while. But Mr. Alexander, there's a saying. Though the mills of God grind slowly, they grind exceedingly fine. They grind exceedingly fine. And I cannot wait for the day when there's a change in this government because I am a student. I'm a mother of 3 boys. I called you already. And I am pursuing my bachelor's in primary school education specifically because our education system, Mr. Alexander, is in a mess. I was driven to do this. I worked in a private sector bank for 16 years, Mr. Alexander. Seeing my children go through what they had to go through with the public system education and what it is now is atrocious. Our young people need change. We need to help that generation that is coming up. It is.
No, but somebody called in tonight and he said it so well. We've lost generations. People don't understand that we've robbed children of their education and giving them no hope. They have a saying, when you open a library, you close a prison. We're supposed to be able to know these things because we've lived through these things. How could we go through?
Let me tell you something. I take children here. Parents have begged me. I open my room to children, and I tutored at least 10 children in my room on a daily basis, you know, Mr. Alexander. Because the online system was not working for them during this COVID time. And these are children who have learning disabilities I'm talking about, who are unable to focus. And you know what? It's 20 minutes to what they get, and what they get online, that's it. That's it.
Insanity.
We are losing precious time with our young children. Precious time. And I like what that caller said. We are losing generations. And
He didn't lie.
Yet still, I have 2 in secondary and 1 at tertiary. I myself am a student.
Ma'am, I want to say this there. You need to get politically involved. I'm leaving it right there. You have my number.
Yes, Mr. Alexander.
Looking forward to talking to you soon.
You have a good night.
You too. Hello, good evening. You're live.
Yes, good night, Phillip.
Good night.
You hearing me?
Yep, you hearing me?
Yes, I can. So I was inspired to call you tonight. I'm calling from Ajax in Ontario, a little small town outside of Toronto. And after having dug out a 3 feet of snow tonight, I want to tell you, I was inspired to call you because there are a lot of Trinidadians who live abroad who would rather be somewhere else than in a cold country.
Yep.
And of course, I want to give a message to people of the Bay that they have an opportunity to be a beacon of hope for all of us who are out here, wanting to come back home. But seeing the situation in Trinidad, of course, it's not the place to be. But they can light a fire that can create a wildfire that will burn that evil and give us the opportunity to come back home.
Thank you for that, my friend. I hope you're on
That
board.
is my message to the people
But
of the Bay.
we need you on board. We need your help.
You know,
We need all the foreign-based Trinis to assist us. If you could reach out to Anthony Senanan, I don't know if you have a connection with him, or if you could send me a WhatsApp to the same number you called me on, I'll put you in touch with them. We need all the foreign-based Trinis to help us. You all are our lifeline.
Well, Philip, you know, we are here to support as best as we can, but there are limited things that we can do.
No, I know that.
As opposed to having to reach out like you guys on the ground. Of course, we try our best to do what we can.
You do.
But it's up to the Trinidadians there at this point, who are there physically, to actually, at this point, get up and say enough is enough. You know, and the opportunity is here now. So we really need to take that step and go forward. If you look at the situation, the things that unfolded yesterday, the day before, it is the same thing over and over. You played a song with Sparrow sang about 41 years ago. Philip, it's been over 40 years I've been living in the wilderness myself. And it was the same thing back then in Trinidad as it is today. But we all want to come back home. And we want to bring our resources back to the country. And the guy before me talked about generations of lost labor and people. We've lost all of that to the world. So the people of Trinidad needs to know that there are people out here hoping, looking at them for this one little light so that we can see a beacon of hope to say, yes, there is something that we can look forward to. And the PEP at this point is the option that they need to look at to go forward.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
You
and
too.
Stay safe.
We like it so.
Hello, good evening, your life.
Good evening, Mr. Alexander. Good evening to all the listeners. Just 2 quick points I want to draw. What went on Sunday, that was very, very, very distasteful because when you watch riots in other countries, the police holding a line, people pelting stone bottles, and they ain't shooting no tear gas, they're just holding the line. And after they killed those, and Gary and the boys went down on the beat them, they didn't have all that force. All Gary telling officers, we going inside it. Anybody gets in the way, throw them in the van. And that crowd parted like Moses and the Red Sea. He used no tear gas, and the crowd parted like Moses and the Red Sea. And the next point I want to draw to you is with you and Stephon, right? Or let's keep with the some saying 142, some saying 145 deaths by
Yeah, I know.
April
4th. I was in April 4th. He said April 6th.
Forgetting this mention is that out of that 100 and something people, 66 was from the PNM crew when they had the bus ride and they carried them up
Indeed.
Landra.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the community spread was small.
Yeah.
Okay, enjoy all your evening.
Okay, my friend. Here this part of this song was Sparrow going and say now.
I make people walk each day is yes, you in a union and can't get recognition.
It's years in a union, you can't get recognition. Watch now, this place ain't joking, you know. Hello, good evening, you're live. Hey, good night, you're live. You hearing me? Because you're breaking up real bad. You want me to call you back? I'll call you back if you want to know. The WhatsApp call not happening for you. You want me to call you back? Let me call you back. Take your steel beam and go. Classified information for personal gain is common, but we know we like it. This freaking Bluetooth.
Pleasant good evening, sis. How are you?
I am good. You hearing me?
Hello?
You hearing me?
Hello?
Yes, you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly now. Pleasant good evening to you and everyone on the live. How are you this evening, sir?
Well, I know a reading we just had an earthquake in Dago.
Pardon?
I said a reading we just had an earthquake in Dago, Martin.
You know, I still want to listen to the live like I'm accustomed almost every night. And you know, what just came to my mind is that I was in a conversation today, and the person, not to sound any kind of way, but the person was what we call a PNM sycophant, right? And we were having a discussion about politics today, and they asked me, what party do I support? I say, well, there's only one party to support. I say, the PEP. So the reaction and the response was, why are you supporting that man? So I don't get a little emotional when people trying to discredit, you know. So I asked the individual the question. I say, what has either the UNC, the PNM, or any other political body done for this country? Whether it be in finance, whether it be in economical growth, whether it be in agricultural sector, what have they done to improve the country? And we're going on in the conversation, and we examine, we're doing a little examining, and for me, I was a bit disturbed because they try to justify the nonsense. So I asked them this question. I say, all over the world, we have things like street sweepers, we have things like road pavers. I say the reason why the PNM and the UNC have these government assistance programs is because they are afraid that if the jobs that keep them in power become redundant, they have no place in politics. So my question is, what will it take for people to realize that this is working again?
That question Sparrow asked 41 years ago. And that's the point. That I play in a song that Sparrow sing, 41 years old, we like it so. It was a song by Sparrow, that's where we like it so come.
I'm not seeing any kind of growth. I mean, look at Dubai, 50 years from a desert to one of the most desired places in the world.
You're not hard,
Singapore,
Brandon.
a prostitute capital, to one of the smallest first world nations in the world.
You're not hard. All the people who know our situation know Singapore and Dubai as examples. I want to give you another example. Norway, which is about our size, got oil 40 years after us. You know what they did with their oil money? They created a heritage and stabilization fund that cannot be touched. They could only ever touch the interest. But it is so massive now because they've never touched the interest and they just let it grow. The Norway Heritage Fund is so massive. It pays Norway about 10 times our national budget in interest every year. Norway's Heritage Fund is present in every important stock or share available for sale in the world. That's the size of this Heritage Fund. When I tell people Trinidad made $3 trillion, I'm going to tell you how money works. Every 10 years, properly invested, money doubles. Every 10 years, properly invested. 60 years, and we had $3 trillion. This country is supposed to have about $10 trillion in a fund invested all around the world. Right now, earning us $1 trillion every year. A billion is 1,000 million. $1 trillion is 1,000 billion. We could have been one of the richest countries on planet Earth. The money that we made, Trinidadians is just divided by 1.4 million. That's not how money works, Money grows. After you cross your recurrent expenditure that you take out of money, the rest of the money that sit down there, not in Trinidad. In Trinidad, our banks rape the people. But in real world situations, that money grows. And the money that you grow, grows again. There's something called the tipping point. And it is used to demonstrate that. When you see a row of dominoes, you know they put dominoes to stand up and then they tip one over and it's just continue tipping dominoes going down the road, right? You've seen that? What science found out is that a domino falling has the power to not just push down one domino, it has the power to push down a domino 1.5 times its own size. So that if you were doing it to the correct power available in a falling domino, one domino pushing over another domino, by the third or fourth domino is the size of a door. And by the 15th domino, it's the height of the Empire State Building. You understand that? Anthony Robbins told a story about a man challenged him to a game of golf. And he challenged him to $500 a hole. He said, that's not money. I'll pay you for 25 cents. But every hole, it doubles. and by the 18th hole it's like $15,000 or $20,000 or $30,000. I'm just trying to tell you that that's how money works and that's how money grows. And Trinidad could have been a global financial player. We could have owned the Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, present in other countries in the world, investing in energy industry and growing that money further. You see what I'm talking about? You understand what I'm talking about? Just the money that came from the oil. But instead of doing that, they just thief it. We have so many, and Trinidadians walk around defending the thieves that has made their lives. There is nothing good about living in Trinidad now, you know. Nothing. This is a frighteningly violent and wild place. Death stalks us. Our health sector is responsible for so many unnecessary deaths. Our national security has failed us. Drugs pass through this country like a highway. And there are 40,000 illegal, high-powered weapons in this country. I mean, when you think of these things, the conundrum, that's what they know of. But when you think of the conundrum that is Trinidad and Tobago, my brother, anyway, I know you didn't call to get lecture, and I'm sorry, but you know.
I love to hear you talk. Don't feel that.
No, but it's the amount of money, it's the sheer volume of money we're talking about that we had. We could have built a bridge to Tobago. We could have built a bridge to Venezuela. Trinidad could have brought on the idea of the Federation of Caribbean States. Because you need to understand something. At a certain point, your population has to grow for you to be a global player. We could have adopted Haiti, brought on Grenada, Dominica, all of them that catch in their ass. We could have brought them into the family. Guyana, before Guyana find oil, Guyana was desperate for love from Trinidad. We could have brought all of them together. A united Caribbean. A united Caribbean. 20 million people now. A united Caribbean don't need nothing from nobody, you know. We have our own energy. We don't snow. We can't freeze to death. And we could grow 20 times the food that we can eat on the land masses that we have. People don't know that we only use 13% of Trinidad. 13. 1-3. With everything that you know, and every house that you know, and every farm, and every business, and every family, and the airport, and the base, and all of that shit. It's still, we're only using 13% of the country. We don't have it planned. Nobody knows. We just live in a country that is one big rape scene. And the government of the day, it is their turn to rape the population. That's it. Nothing else. There is no vision, there's no plan. Nobody have an idea. Debe South. Debe South. The people of Debe South don't know what's the plan for Debe South. The UNC don't have a plan for Debe South. The PNM don't have a plan for Debe South. Debe South is just another space, another name where people live that we use for their labor, their consumption, and their taxes, and vote on command. That's
they don't care about people, you know. They didn't. A lot of politicians, if not 99% of politicians, don't get into politics because they want to create a better country.
Brother, when you listen to people like Mariano Brown, when you listen to people like Mariano Brown and Vassan Barrett, who want people to think that they are financial whiz kids, they don't talk about these things. When you hear people talking about Trinidad and Tobago, they don't talk about national security. They don't talk about our position. They don't talk about our position in the world. They don't talk about any of these things. And they don't know. And they don't know that they don't know. And they're hoping that the people they want to vote for them don't realize that they don't know what they're talking about. Mariano Brown and Vassan Barrett could keep couching the conversation as to how our wealthy people are doing, because that's how we judge the country. But you're supposed to judge a country by how the poor are doing, how little poverty you have in your country. That's a measure. That's an important measure. You must be able to say, we have as a goal, as a political party, to wipe out poverty, wipe out illiteracy, create a country where even if the government, even if you end up with a next shit-town government, the people are so educated, they have so many opportunities that you would need nothing from that government. We don't have that.
Educating the public isn't beneficial to the government any day. And that's the thing. Right now,
the slave masters, the slave owners,
economically weak, we are socially confused, and it's just amazing that we still stand. Really and truly.
Chalana Birchwood was the first person to tell me Trinidad is a plantation, and the more I look at it, the more he is correct. They are plantation owners, they are slave owners. Trinidadians don't know they're slaves. And
That's true. Very true.
When Harriet Tubman said that she freed 1,000 slaves, and she could have freed more if only they knew they were slaves. Trinidadians don't know that they're slaves. So they carry on blissfully, and every now and then, massa throw some scraps on the ground. And they're doing it properly well, to the point where, and somebody told me, this is the only country in the world where slaves argue in the street about which massa house bigger.
I laugh at that because I had that conversation 2 days ago with somebody.
Brother, you good? Things good with you?
I cool for you, man.
Come on, check me now. Come on, check me, yeah?
I
really appreciate the call. That's why I call you back. But come and check me, right? Come and check me. Okay?
I will do that.
Stay strong.
I'll make a definitely come and do that.
Stay strong, my brother.
All right, you as well. Keep good.
When you think he get me talking, they have things we've never spoken about. They have things we've never had a conversation about. But just the money that we had, it's not limited to that total. That cash flow is so powerful. Trinidad could have invested in power plants in America and essential infrastructure. Venezuela owns gas stations in America. America don't fart around with infrastructure, you know. You could be who you is. They always want the development of their country. And Trinidad could have invested in essential infrastructure in the United States of America. When you want to be a player, you want to be playing when you are involved in toll roads, toll highways in big countries. You don't have to be in the country. Trinidad could have provided hospitals, pay hospitals in Costa Rica, in Nicaragua, in Canada, in India. Right now, banks are partnering with the medical fraternity to provide what they are calling micro hospitals. That concept is so far from Trinidad and Tobago, I don't even want to raise it. There's not one shithead in this country that willing to step out themselves and say micro hospitals are the future. Individual hospitals. You could have a separate insurance plan for Diego Martin West, where the 35,000 people in Diego Martin West pay $10 a month for their insurance card and get everything they want from private government hospitals that pay on those cards built in that constituency. And you could do that 41 times. Nobody ever has to be left behind. This country is a crime scene. Government is organized crime. Politics is organized crime. To the police and the soldiers watching, to the Coast Guard, to the nurses and the doctors watching, to the teachers watching. Hear me now, because you know it's true. You've been knowing it. You've been thinking it. And people just watch one another and say, oh, you hear what that man just say? You know how long I thinking that? Yeah, I thinking that too. You know what's the problem in Trinidad and Tobago? Everybody was afraid to say the things that I have made it fashionable to say. And I'm happy for that. Don't get me wrong. Again, I'm saying to you. I said it again. I said it for 20 years. I got a stock record. This was never about government for me. For me, this is about changing this country. For me, this is about leaving no child behind. When we say leave no child behind, it's not just put your ass in a seat in a school. It's put you in touch with a functional education that will open the world to you. Our education system in this country is shit. And what is hard, what is real hard is 40 years ago. What the Queen left, we had the highest standard of education in the Western world. Children used to leave Trinidad. When Trinidadians started to flee the recession, they found out that our schooling was 2 years ahead of America and Canada. So that our children were entering higher classes at a younger age because of their knowledge. And we even managed to destroy that. Watch me now. Watch me now. All I want to cuss Miss Brandt. Tell the world how God blessed this country with a virus that wipe out our cocoa plantation. When you drive around the savannah and you see the Magnificent Seven, Queen's Royal College, all the way to Stallmeyer Castle, when you see those Magnificent Seven buildings, it's cocoa barons outdoing one another. Where the Prime Minister office is now Whitehall, that was somebody's house. Where the Archbishop office is now, that was somebody's house. That was cocoa barons outdoing one another around the savannah, spending their, well, in them days, their millions. And they were the richest people in the world in Trinidad. And we get a virus that wipe out our cocoa. And then we had to go Venezuela and buy new cocoa plants from them. And we bring it and we plant it in the ground where we had to burn our cocoa, and we plant it in the ground where our dead cocoa was. And some miracle occurred where the cocoa that we had merged with the Venezuelan cocoa and created a new strain of cocoa that the world knows as Trinitario cocoa. And Trinitario cocoa is the gold standard. The gold, the highest standard in the world for chocolate is Trinitario cocoa. To the people cussing Miss Brandt, explain to planet Earth how the country that owns Trinitario cocoa is not the wealthiest nation in the world just by selling rights, like how the GMO companies do, selling rights to Trinitario. There is something called Blackfoot ham in Spain, where there is a type of pig that grows, it has black feet. I can't remember the name of the place it's from, but that ham, millions of dollars. And they have things like that in the world. They have truffles, they have special types of truffles that when you find it, it's worth millions of dollars. Our cocoa is worth billions of dollars. Explain to me why. With all these shithounds that you voted into office, to Mr. Jackass 7478594, do you know this? Do you know any of this? Forget the fact that we have the only pitch lake, the size of our pitch lake in the world, and that waterproofing forever, long after oil serves no more purpose to man as a source of fuel. Pitch for waterproofing, for housing, will forever be in demand. You tell me, how come the country that have the nylon pool, the #1 most magical tourist drawing freaking item in the world, we can't monetize that. We can't monetize the pitch lake. We can't monetize the freaking Trinitario cocoa. We can't monetize the second hottest Scofield unit measured pepper on the planet that is perfect according to the cadence for pepper spray. Tell me how we have poverty. Tell me how is that possible other than you keep voting bullshit artists, con men and women, shittongs, charlatans, and jackasses into government. You tell me how a country that has an education have a people so naturally talented that we producing fools and we producing gang members. Tell me how that is possible, because I might be too stupid to understand the PNNification of this country. I might be too stupid to understand how a country that has the Bucco Reef is killing it, dragging anchors across the reef with people on a glass bottom boat. We're killing the freaking goose that lay in the golden egg, and they have nobody talking about that. You tell me Help me understand. I want some PNM people to stupefy me. I want you to dumb me down. Get me to understand how shit on cornflakes tastes like sugar. Because that's what Rhoda Barrett and them selling all year. That's what Rowley to sell you every day for his 1% handlers. That shit in your churran sandwich is guava jam. Tell me. I'd like to know. I want somebody who have access to that PNM voodoo to show me how it works. Show me. Make it make sense to me how this country, that should be the richest country in the world, that per pound everybody in Trinidad and Tobago should be richer than the people living in Brunei. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Good night, Mr. Alexander. I had to call you tonight. Anyway, happy belated birthday. Good night to everybody.
Thank you.
I had to call you tonight when you mentioned that Trinitario cocoa. In 2018, I always heard about San Antonio Cocoa Estate in Trinidad, and I had the opportunity to go and visit that place. And I met the owner, Mr. David Tyler. And he told me earlier on that year, just after Carnival, a group of people came from Russia. And he said that they want the volume of cocoa they wanted to purchase from Trinidad. We didn't have the ability to supply that. Now the thing is, we have so much of cocoa estate in this country, abandoned. Instead of having those CPAP workers cleaning the side of the drain and thing, that is because the corporation's supposed to do that. I wanted to know, and I've put that to people, to politicians over the years. Why it is they can't put those people, you go in and you have an arrangement, because we have to understand, a lot of the people in agriculture, is either they die out, they're very old, they don't know much about exporting and the bureaucracy involved. Why does the government couldn't have a partnership with these owners of these estates, rehabilitate them? Let the government, if they have to do that, they want to set up a company, export them. And what you do is part of the profit. You remember, you're getting foreign exchange. Let part of that go to the workers and give them an incentive, because as it is, hundreds of millions going down the drain behind CPAP workers, and the country's not getting anything in return. Brother, we're going to be benefiting so much with that, with just one thing, with the cocoa.
Brother, you
because we have to understand, over 60% of the world total output comes out of West Africa. And yet still, as you rightly said, we have the best in the world for flavoring.
I want to tell you something. You're talking about people who set up a cocoa and coffee board to destroy cocoa and coffee in Trinidad. Trinidad have, you know about Hongwing coffee, right?
Yeah.
Trinidad have Hongwing coffee. You telling me that Rituals and Starbucks could set up in Trinidad and Tobago? Mario Sabga Aboud could consider himself the Starbucks of the Caribbean. He opened 126 stores in 10 years. And import bullshit, illy freeze-dried crystals in a country where the people in Diego Martin and environs that used to live around the roasting of the Hongwing factory, that when that coffee start to cook, people used to open their windows and sit down in their doorways just to smell it. You're trying to tell me that we selling bullshit, illy, freeze-dried cockery in Rituals, and we don't have 100 Hongwing coffee shops in this country? We listen.
Talking about coffee, let me tell you one thing. 20 years ago, I was involved in doing tour guides, doing tour operating in Trinidad. I was a representative for Tobago, for a company out of Tobago. And part of that was to take the people up at Asia Right, for them to go on the trail and to have lunch and all of that. At that time, Asia Right was brewing the old coffee, and a lot of foreigners, when they came and they tasted that, they were impressed with it.
Brother, our Arabica beans in Trinidad and Tobago is our next world standard. This country is a shit show because we've elected charlatans and shithounds to government. Keith Rowley and Clarence Rambert. I want to say this.
Just with cocoa, coffee, and with hot pepper, like you mentioned, with this coffee and pepper, we could wipe out unemployment in this country. And we could bring in more foreign exchange than what we get right
Brother,
now.
if we were playing in the pepper spray market, we would have to import 1 million laborers just to play. People talking about growing cannabis to provide the world, we would have to import 2 million farm hands. Understand what we're talking about? Trinidadians clueless, you know. They're walking around blindfolding each other. They don't even understand. Pepper mash. We don't do nothing else. Grow the pepper and break it down to pepper mash. That is worth 100 times per barrel than oil. It is cheaper to grow. It is less harmful to the environment. It is cheaper to manufacture. It is $2,400 and something for a barrel of pepper mash, and it's about $100 for a barrel of oil at its best. We are a country of people led astray. We've been told that you're black, vote and eat PNM grass, or you're Indian like a caller 7478594 that calling to defend UNC bullshit because it's UNC till he dead, but they South people suffering, and we mustn't try a chance to rescue them. Everything you say tonight is a fact, and that's what I keep telling Trinidadians, that the day
I would love to meet with you and to give you some other ideas and things that I've been talking to politicians.
Send me a WhatsApp.
20 years.
Send me a WhatsApp with all of your contact information. You and I meeting this week.
Okay, thanks. All the best.
As I keep telling Trinidadians have the solutions to every problem. The police know every criminal. We could fix this country if you give the army the opportunity to secure this nation, merge the army with the Coast Guard and call it a Department of Homeland Security and give them the responsibility to secure this nation 3 miles out at sea. You couldn't pass a lump of coal through that. By the time it reached land, pressure and heat turn it into a diamond. Trinidad and Tobago doesn't understand that politically they have cut their own throat every election. I'm going to stop the calls now because it's late. I just realized the time. But I'm glad those calls, we got brilliant calls tonight. We got all the right calls tonight to tell us all the things that we needed to hear. We had Song Sparrow sang 41 years ago. 41 years ago. Saying to you exactly what you're suffering today. Worse now. It's worse now because the government has written laws to force your money into the bank so the bank could thief it. I am telling you, wake the hell up and stand up. DB South has an opportunity to show this country politics on a different level. DB South needs to wipe UNC off the map, because if DB South does that, then C-Lots will do it to the PNM. Both of them watching one another, squint eye, cut eye, waiting to see, talking about who like it so. DB South, the ball in your court now. Tobago just wipe out PNM and Tobago. You have the opportunity, DB South, you have the opportunity so that you could tell the future generations, could say that there was a little election in DB South when we began the revolution of hearts and minds that changed this country and rescued the people that put us to where we are today. The richest country in the world, per capita, the most developed, the best place to live, the best quality of life. We have some of the greatest natural resources in the world that millions of people come here every year to see and spend hundreds of millions of dollars into our treasury. We have re-established a heritage and stabilization fund that could protect children 1,000 years into the future. That's the Trinidad and Tobago we're supposed to be wanting. Don't call me on the phone to talk bullshit about UNC till you're dead. How is that helping you? How does taking that phone, that phone card and that script that one of them freaking jackass members of parliament send you to read that shit, to pretend that UNC give a ass about anybody? If you think UNC give a ass about anybody besides their finances, you're damn wrong. If you think the PNM give a shit about you, you're damn wrong. Because if you want to know how the PNM really think about its people, go and walk in Beetham tonight. I know you don't want to walk in Beetham because you think if you're driving past Beetham and you get a flat, you gotta drive on the rim. That's the image we have of those people. But go and walk and see what the government do then. Go and see what they do then. 4 months, shit bubbling up in the street throughout the entire community. Would you put up with that? Of course not. We need your help. We need your support. The change that we need is a we thing. Don't think it's a me thing. Don't lie down and eat popcorn and watch me for entertainment. I know I'm entertaining. I know. But we're running out of time. We have an opportunity. This is a godsend. This is God open his hands up down from heaven and say, look, fix it. That tiny orange dot that you could put on that map will change this country forever. If you're not yet a member of the Progressive Empowerment Party, peptt.com/join. What is really important right now is everybody, island-wide, who want to help us in our mission in DB South, even if you can't vote, you could come and walk about. You could volunteer and come and hand out flyers. You could help us come and man the phones. We call in every single citizen living in DB South. We're going to ring every doorbell and knock on every door, and we're going to talk to everybody, and we're going to put information in their hands. I will be in DB South every day. And we're going to do live videos from all the problems that those people living with. And then next week, I'm going to go Sealots with Adrian, and I go Chase Village with Ravi. And I'm going to show you the country that we think everybody else like it so. Nobody like Trinidad. Nobody living here like it. People hoping to get a green card or papers to Canada. Anybody get a chance to escape from what could be the best country in the world to live. Trinidad is a conundrum. We are people living on a plantation, fighting to defend Massa House. It is time to fix. Javed Imandi, I want to tell you something. You're my real partner. But you see that thread that's beyond these live videos? The reason I allow people to comment in the thousands on my posts is I want a healthy exchange. And you can't make everything in a joke. And I want to say that to you tonight so that you know that this post and this work is important. And I love having you on the threads, but I want you to use that intelligent head you have to lead people in sensible conversation, because that is what we're doing, and we're running out of time. If you want to help, you can message me, 682-2110. If you want to make a donation to the party to help with this, message Felicia Holder, 764590. If you have a printer and you want to print flyers, if you want to donate t-shirts, flags, bumper stickers, if you have a mic and you want to lend me, if you have a music truck and you want to lend me, if you just want to volunteer, you and your whole family to come out in orange and hand out flyers, message me, 682-2110. We need to win DB South convincingly. We need to send a message not only to the PNM and the UNC, but to the contract mafia, gnarly fingers, pulling the strings on them two parties. We want to let them know that we're coming. We want them to see that the people of Trinidad and Tobago have awoken. And now that we're awake, we're going to rescue it. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Until tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.